Welcome to Wisdom Trek with Gramps. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, and we are on day 2452 of our trek. The purpose of Wisdom Trek is to create a legacy of wisdom, to seek out discernment and insights, and to boldly grow where few have chosen to grow before. In today's Wisdom Nugget, I'll be diving into the first 6 verses of Psalm 19, one of the most beautiful and profound passages in all of Scripture. This psalm is attributed to King David, and he takes us on a journey from the heavens' vastness to God's very presence, revealing his glory through the natural world. David's words in these verses invite us to open our eyes, our hearts, and our minds to the magnificence of God's creation, which constantly speaks of his power, majesty, and divine nature. In this episode, we'll explore how the heavens declare the glory of God, how the skies proclaim his craftsmanship, and how the continuous testimony of creation impacts our understanding of the Creator. So let's set out on this trek together, allowing Psalm 19 to deepen our appreciation of God's handiwork and draw us closer to Him. Psalm 19, verses 1 through 6. The heavens proclaim the glory of God. The skies display His craftsmanship. Day after day they continue to speak. Night after night they make Him known. They speak without sound or word. Their voice is never heard. Yet their message has gone throughout the world, and their words to all the world. God has made a home in the heavens for the sun. It bursts forth like a radiant bridegroom after his wedding. It rejoices like a great athlete eager to run the race. The sun rises at one end of heaven and follows its course to the other end. Nothing can hide from its heart. We begin with verse 1, where David makes a powerful declaration. The heavens proclaim the glory of God. The skies display his craftsmanship. Here David invites us to lift our gaze to heaven, to observe the vast expanse above us, the sun, moon, stars, clouds, and all that fills the sky. In this simple yet profound observation, David recognizes that heavens are not silent. They are constantly proclaiming the glory of God. The term glory here refers to the weightiness, the splendor, and the majesty of God. It is His beauty, His power, and His divine nature all on display for the world to see. When David speaks of the sky displaying God's craftsmanship, he is pointing us to the intricate and awe-inspiring design of creation. Just like a skilled artist or a craftsman who leaves their signature on their work, so too does God leave His mark on creation. The heaven's symmetry, order, and beauty testify to a wise, powerful, and purposeful Creator in His design. Every cloud, every star, every sunrise and sunset reflects the meticulous care and attention of our Creator. As we look to the heavens, we are reminded that the universe is not random or chaotic. It is the product of a divine craftsman who has woven his glory into the very fabric of creation. The vastness of space, the movement of the celestial bodies, and the brilliance of all the stars, all these things declare that there is a God who is far greater than we can imagine. In our own lives, this verse challenges us to pause and consider the beauty of creation all around us. Do we see the glory of God in the sunrise? Do we marvel at His craftsmanship in the stars that fill the night sky? The heavens are constantly proclaiming God's glory, but it is up to us to listen, to observe, and to respond in worship. Moving on to verses 2 and 3, David continues, Day after day they continue to speak. Night after night they make Him known. They speak without a sound or a word. Their voice is never heard. In these verses, David emphasizes a continuous and unending testimony of creation. The heavens and the skies do not cease to proclaim God's glory. Their witness is ongoing, day after day, night after night. This continuous testimony is a powerful reminder that God is always speaking to us through His creation. There is never a moment when the heavens are silent. They are always declaring the greatness of God. What is remarkable about this testimony is that it transcends all languages. David notes that the heaven speaks without sound or word. Their voice is never heard. This means that the witness of creation is not confined to human language or culture. It is a universal message that everyone can understand, regardless of where they come from or what language they speak. The beauty of a sunset, the majesty of the stars, the vastness of the universe, these things communicate the reality of God in a way that is accessible to everyone. This silent testimony of creation is powerful because it speaks directly to our hearts. It bypasses the limitations of language and culture, reaching into the depths of our soul and stirring us with a sense of wonder and awe. Whether we are standing on a mountain peak, gazing up at the night sky, or watching the waves crash at the shore, we are encountering the glory of God. David's words challenge us to be attentive to this testimony. Do we take time to observe and reflect the beauty of creation? Are we allowing the continuous witness of heaven to draw us closer to the Creator? The testimony of the creation is all around us, but we must be willing to listen and let it lead us into a deeper relationship with God. In verse 4, David writes, "Yet their message has gone throughout the earth, and their words to all the world." This verse underscores the universal nature of the testimony of creation. The message of God's glory, as proclaimed by the heavens, is not limited to one place or one people. It has gone out to the entire earth, to every corner of the world. The universal message is a powerful reminder that God's glory is not hidden or confined. It is on display for all to see. The fact that the message has reached all the world speaks of the accessibility of God's revelation through creation. No one is excluded from this testimony. Whether we live in a bustling city or a quiet countryside, whether we are rich or poor, educated or uneducated, we all have access to the witness of creation. The beauty and order of the natural world are testimonies to the Creator, inviting everyone to acknowledge and worship Him. David's words remind us that we are responsible for responding to this universal message. Creation constantly points us to God, inviting us to recognize His greatness and to give Him the glory that He deserves. As we go about our daily lives, let's be mindful of the ways in which creation is testifying God's glory, and let this testimony inspire us to worship and to share the good news of God's love with others. In the second half of verses 4 through 6, David shifts our focus to the sun, using it as a powerful metaphor for God's glory and presence. God has made a home in heaven for the sun. It bursts forth like a radiant bridegroom after his wedding. It rejoices like a great athlete eager to run the race. The sun rises at one end of heaven and follows its course to the other end. Nothing can hide from its heat. David begins by acknowledging that God has made a home in the heavens for the sun. The sun, which dominates our sky and provides light and warmth to the earth, is set in place by God. It is not just a random star in the sky. The Creator has given it a specific role and purpose. The sun's daily journey across the sky is a testament to God's order and design. David uses these two vivid metaphors to describe the sun. First, he compares it to the radiant bridegroom after a wedding. This imagery conveys joy, energy, and brilliance of the sun as it rises in the morning. Just as the bridegroom is full of excitement and anticipation on his wedding day, so too does the sun burst forth each morning with renewed vigor and strength. The second metaphor that David uses is a great athlete eager to run the race. Here, the sun is likened to a strong and determined runner, eager to complete its course. The sun's journey from one end of heavens to the other is relentless and unwavering, much like an athlete who is focused on finishing the race. This imagery highlights the consistency and reliability of the sun, which rises and sets each day without fail. David concludes by nothing can hide from its heat. The sun's warmth and light reaches every part of earth, affecting all living things. In the same way, God's glory and presence is inescapable. Just as the sun rays touch everything on the earth, so too does God's glory reach into every aspect of our lives. These verses invite us to consider the sun not just as a physical object, but as a symbol of God's glory and faithfulness. Just as the sun rises each day, so too is God's presence with us, bringing light, warmth, and life. We cannot escape the sun's influence, nor can we escape the reality of God's presence in our life. His glory is all-encompassing, and His love is as constant and unwavering as the sun. As we conclude our exploration of Psalm chapter 19, verses 1 through 6, we are left with a deep sense of awe and wonder at the majesty of God's creation. David's words remind us that the heavens are constantly proclaiming the glory of God, and the testimony of the creation is universal and unending, and that the sun, in all its brilliance, is a powerful metaphor for God's presence and glory. These verses challenge us to open our eyes and our hearts to witness this creation, to allow the beauty and the order of the natural world to draw us closer to the Creator. As we go about our daily lives, let's take time to observe and reflect on the glory of God as it is revealed in the world around us. Let's allow our testimony of the heavens to inspire us in worship, to give thanks, and to share the good news of God's love with others. Thank you for joining me on this Wisdom Trek. I hope that these verses have encouraged you to seek out the beauty of God's creation and recognize His glory in all that He has made. Until the next time, keep moving forward in pursuit of your wisdom. Keep on trekking and enjoy the journey to become a better version of yourself. And if you found this podcast insightful, please subscribe and leave us a review. Then encourage your friends and family to join us and come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, and most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. As we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and create a great day every day. See you next time for more daily wisdom.